So children, we've talked about the two parts of the central nervous system, that is the brain and the spinal cord, and they are very delicate organs. Okay, so they really need to be protected from any kind of injury. So how are they protected? The brain is protected in a brain box, which is also known as cranium. Okay, and it's a bony box made up of bones, and the brain lies within this brainy box, within this box, which is called as cranium. Now, also the brain has the covering of membranes which are known as meninges. Okay, and between the two meninges is a fluid which is called as cerebrospinal fluid. It is present in between the meninges and it acts as a shock absorber. So, okay, and it provides protection to the brain for any kind of injury. Also, the spinal cord is similarly surrounded by meninges and also the bones that form the vertebral column. So, over the length of the vertebral column runs the spinal cord, and the protection to the spinal cord is given by the vertebral column. So, the brain and the spinal cord both are very delicate organs which are protected by the bony boxes, like for cranium in the case of brain and the vertebral column in the case of the spinal cord. Now, what are the functions of the spinal cord? It conducts the sensory and the motor impulses that to and fro from the brain, that is, it forms a connection between the brain and the lower part of the body, and it also provides nervous connections to all parts of the body, okay, and acts as a center for the reflex actions and reduces the work of the brain. So these are the functions of the spinal cord. So this is all about the control and coordination in the human beings, that is in the form of nervous system, although they have another system, that is the endocrine system, we'll be taking up later. Now let's talk about the coordination in the plants. So how do the plants have the coordination? As you know, there is no nervous system present in the plants. So the coordination is by the various movements. So we have two types of movements in the plants, that is the tropic movement and the nastic movements. So first let's talk about the tropic movement. What are the tropic movements? The growth of a plant in response to external stimuli, in which the direction of the stimulus determines the direction of response, are called as tropic movements. Okay, so the growth is towards a particular stimulus and it is towards the direction of the stimulus that there is the growth which is occurring. So depending on that, there are the 5 types of tropisms. First is the phototropism. It is the movement of plant parts in response to light. That is called as, light means photo. So phototropism. For example, the shoot of a plant always grows towards light. So we say it is positively phototropic. Whereas the root grows away from light. So we say that it is negatively phototropic as it moves down into the soil, away from the soil. So the next is geotropism. This is the movement of the plant parts in response to gravity. Okay. And this is said to be geotropism. For example, the roots, they are positively geotropic and the shoot is negatively geotropic. Okay, you know, shoot, as we said, is growing upwards, that is away from gravity, so it is negatively geotropic, whereas the root is going towards gravity, towards the earth, toward downwards, so we say it is positively geotropic. So the next is the hydrotropism. That is the movement of plant parts in response to water is said to be hydrotropism. For example, again this, we provide water to the soil and the roots are growing in the soil, so they are said to be positively hydrotropic as they grow towards water. Then we have the thigmotropism. It is the directional growth movement in response to touch. This is said to be thigmotropism. For example, now some of the plants, their stems are weak, so they need to climb. So the climbing parts of the plants, like the tendrils, they grow towards any support which they happen to touch and they coil around it. So some of the creepers, some of the plants which have weak stems, so they need a support. So they have tendrils where they come in contact with any object, anything, so that touch gives them the stimulus of growing around it. So this is, touch means thigmo. So this is said to be a growth related movement which is said to be thigmotropism, okay, towards a particular object it coils around. Then next is the chemotropism. So this is the movement of the plant in response to chemical stimulus. This is said to be chemotropism. For example, what happens when the pollen grain, they fall on the stigma of the pistil or the carpel, there is the formation of a pollen tube, okay, and the pollen grain then travels through this pollen tube to the ovule of the ovary for the process of fertilization, and this is said to be that the case of the chemotropism, example of chemotropism. And there is a sugary substance which is produced, and towards sugary substance this pollen grain gets directed, and it grows through this pollen tube. So we say that it is because of sugary substance, so it is said to be chemotropism, that is the stimulus is the chemical. So these are the various types, or the 5 types of the tropic movements, which are the growth related. So the growth is towards a particular stimulus. So the movements which are non-directional, okay, they are said to be the nastic movements. They are non-directional movement parts with respect to stimulus. For example, the direction of movement of a plant is not determined by the direction of the stimulus. They are of 2 types, thermonastic or we say photonastic. For example, the opening of the petals of dandelion flowers in the morning, okay, when there is a stimulus of light, they open up in the bright light, and they close in the evening when the light fades, or even on a cloudy day they would not be opening. So when there is no light, they would not open, or when there is light, they open in the morning and they close in the evening when the light fades away. Then the next is the thigmonastic movement. So in thigmonastic movement, for example, the leaves of the touch-me-not plant, or scientific name Mimosa pudica, they fold on touching as the stimulus is the touch. So this is because there is a change in the turgor pressure. What happens is there is sudden change in the turgor pressure in the leaves, and so the leaves droop or they fold, and after about 15 minutes the leaves again retain their original shape, and the water flows back into the leaves and they retain their original shape and come back to the original position. So these are said to be the nastic movements, in which there is no particular direction in which the stimulus is. Now talking about the differences of the tropic and the nastic movement. That's a very important question, children. So what are they? What is the direction? What is the difference? So the first is that tropic are directional, and direction of movement is related to direction of stimulus, where are these non-directional, that is neither towards the stimulus nor away from it, or away from it. Organs are generally cylindrical, for example root, stem and tendril, okay, and here organs are generally flat, for example the petals as we talked of the dandelion flower, or the leaves of the touch-me-not plant. Here the stimulus is in one direction only, that is unilateral, okay. Here stimulus is diffused. Here in the tropic there are always growth movements, and these are not growth related. They are irreversible, that is the growth of the shoot towards the light, or the growth of the root towards the gravity. So once the growth occurs, it cannot be reverted. Whereas these are reversible. For example, the touch-me-not plant leaves, they fold, but after about 15 minutes again they come back to the original position. Then the plant movements are of the curvature caused by the unilateral growth of one side, whereas in the case of nastic, they are caused by the variations in the environmental conditions, and they also have curvature, but changes occur due to the turgor pressure. So this is in one side of the organ, which grows faster than the other side, causing the curvature, and they are slow as they are growth related. So the tropic movements are slow as they are growth related, whereas the nastic movements are comparatively faster. So these are the types of movements which cause the coordination in plants. Other than that, the plant hormones are also present, which help in the coordination. So they are said to be the phytohormones. So what are phytohormones? Phytohormones are the plant hormones, because the plants do not have nerves and muscles to coordinate their activities. Instead, they have the chemical messengers, or the hormones, which are called as phytohormones, and they are diffusible, which are able to control the various plant activities like growth, like differentiation, like movements, development, and the physiological processes. So we'll be talking about the various types of plant hormones and animal hormones in the next video.